Hi everyone, today we'll be looking at the petty cash account. Before we dive into how petty cash operates, we must first take a look at what it is. A petty cash account is an amount of cash kept on hand to pay for minor expenditures. For example, it can be used to pay for office supplies or postage of small mailings. A petty cash account involves three activities. First, establishing the fund. Second, making payments from the fund. And third, replenishing the fund as it becomes depleted. Okay, now let's take a look at step 1. The fund is established by writing a check for the amount of the fund, cashing the check, and placing the check under the care of the allocated employee. To illustrate this, let's have a look at Harry's Cafe. On the 1st of June, Harry decides to cash a $100 check to establish a petty cash fund and gives the cash to his employee, Larry. On this date, Harry would record the following journal entry. Cash must be credited as it is leaving the business to go into the fund, whilst the petty cash should be debited as funds are increased in the account. Notice how there is no change in assets? After the fund is established, step 2 involves making payments from the fund. This is done in two ways, cash being directly taken from the fund to make a payment, or employees spending their own money and then seeking a reimbursement. The custodian should collect all receipts to keep track of how much cash is being taken from the fund. It is important to note no journal entries are recorded as payments are being made. The third step involves replenishing the fund. Before replenishing the fund, the amount that is in the fund must be counted, and then the business will write and cash a check for the amount that brings the total cash in the fund back to its original balance. It must record all of its expenses using the receipts that have been made. To illustrate this, let's use Harry's Cafe. On the 31st of June, Harry examines his petty cash fund and forms a petty cash fund replenishment report. Here we can see that Harry has 10 remaining in his account, as he spent 40 on postage and 50 on office supplies. This report shows that Harry needs $90 to replenish the fund. Harry should then create the following journal entry, in which he debits the two expenses and then credits the cash. However, what if the receipts and the required replenishing account doesn't add up, resulting in a discrepancy between the cash needed for the replenishment and the amount of receipts? This could be due to the fact that the custodian did not obtain all receipts or give out the correct change. A cash over and short account must be created, accounting for the discrepancy between the cash needed for the replenishment and the amount of receipts, which can either have a debit or credit balance. Notice how in this case there is only $5 remaining in the fund, with $95 needed to be replenished. However, there is only $90 worth of receipts that have been collected. In this case, the following journal entry would be recorded, where Harry would debit the cash over and short account for the discrepancy of $5. Thank you for watching.